Hey there, everybody. Thomas with Basecamp Trading. It is Thursday, December 18th, and we're going to take a look here at the S&P. Now, as you know, I did a few days ago, or even last week, I did a video talking about this weekly bearish divergence and how it's really important to note this because of the fact that basically every single major pullback we've had in the markets was preceded by a bearish divergence on the weekly price chart in the S&P. So far that's playing out a bit. We're seeing the down move a little bit in the S&P, but I want to show you kind of what I'm looking at on an intraday basis to make sure we're staying on the right side of the trend with the ES and kind of where we expect the S&P to go, and when we say, okay, things are starting to shift and potentially turning back to the upside. So one of my favorite time frames to pay attention to is a 240-minute price chart. So that's what this is right here. Well, this is 120-minute, but on the 240-minute price chart. And what we watch for is the trend. And the definition of a trend is higher high and higher low pivots, or for a bearish trend, lower high and lower low pivots. So in this case, we've been watching the S&P here. We went high to a lower low compared to the last low, and then lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And even with this big bounce we had this morning coming off the CPI print, we are still below the previous pivot high. So the most important thing to take note of in a downtrend is the consecutive lower highs. The most important thing to take note of in an uptrend is the consecutive higher lows. Well, in this case, we are continuing to trend down, even though we had a big bounce. Now, could this be shifting? Potentially. You see our upside swings on the MQ momentum are starting to pick up strength here. Today's bounce was really strong from a momentum standpoint. And then also along those same lines, you have a really good CPI number came out this morning, with CPI cooling quite a bit, so inflation is down quite a bit relative to expectations. That being said, for the time being, trend is still down. We're still cautious with the markets right now, sitting on more cash than usual, and we're going to wait for the trend to change. Once it changes on an intraday basis, then we can be looking for a potential bigger move to the upside. Now, if we are going to get a larger move to the upside on a weekly basis, so far, at a bare minimum, when we get a divergence, the smallest thing we expect is just consolidation, which is what we've gotten so far. A bigger reversal would happen if this weekly breaks down through the pivot lows down at 65.84. Then we go, okay, the trend on the weekly has broken and no longer higher highs, higher lows. So right now it's just consolidation. If we're going to see the S&P switch back to bullish, we'd want to see really a close on a weekly basis above 69.43, which you can see we keep breaking above it but getting knocked right back down, so we haven't been able to close above it, or we want to see a break above 69.88. So that's the pivot high from last week. So keep an eye on both those things on the longer time frame basis, and then on the shorter time frame basis, pay attention to your trend. But that's it for today. Hope it helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. And again, if you want to check out the trade rooms and join us there, all you got to do is go to bctnow.com/join. We are currently running a special where you can get in for an entire month for only $7. So that's it. Come check it out. I'll see you in the trade room tomorrow morning. Until next time, everybody, happy trading.